I'm Bob the Hollow, here to talk about Gundyr. Udex Gundyr, Champion Gundyr, is many a favorite and for good reason. The first boss we encounter in the game is an imposing figure and all-around badass. Like many other things in this game, at first he's a mystery, scarcely any clues about his history. Where he came from, what's his motive, why is he the judge of Chosen Ash? But like many other things in this game, the answers are all there. Currently, the accepted theory is that he was an undead champion on a quest to link the first flame. But when he got to Firelink Shrine, it was without fire, and the bells would not toll. Not only that, but he was bested by an unknown warrior who would turn out to be our undead protagonist. With his spirit broken, he would have thrusted the coiled sword into his own body, hoping that someday he would be a part of the linking once again. By judging the might of those who would follow on the same path he once did, ensuring that only the worthy would undertake the task. This explanation really seems to make sense, and it is a cool tale befitting of a badass, but it is wrong, and I'll show you why. First, let's get something out of the way. The Untended Graves area is in the past. I think most people agree with that. There's overwhelming evidence, and I don't have to list them here, many others have already done so. One bit that seems to point people in the other direction is the coiled sword fragment that says it has served its purpose long ago, which would hint that the Untended Graves are the future to our present. But that doesn't have much else to support it, and the rest of the sword is actually in High Wall of Lothric. This coiled sword belonged to the Firelink Shrine. After it was broken, they fashioned a new one, and since they are both linked to the same bonfire, that allows you to teleport to the High Wall of Lothric before lighting its first bonfire. Now, the best clues to Gundyr's history are in the Firekeeper, who tended to the bonfire at that time.
Ashen One, may I pose thee a question? Has the little Lord Ludleth spoken to thee of any curious matters?
Ah, found her, did we? And the black eyes that shimmer within I see. 'Tis as if it were but yesterday.
I sense that he possesseth some knowledge of a thing once most precious, or most terrible, now lost to the Firekeepers.
Mayhap I should apprise thee of what the thin light of these eyes might reveal to the eyeless Firekeeper.
Are these eyes?
The eyes show a world destitute of fire, a barren plain of endless darkness.
A world without fire.
Scenes of betrayal. Things never intended for her ken. Visions of this age's end.
In the far distance, I sense the presence of tiny flames. Could this be what draws me to this strangely enticing darkness?
What is thine intent?
Betrayal.
The Firekeeper delved into the abyss and was granted the Dark Sigil. She had visions of a world without fire, without the first flame, and had intended to betray its linking. Londor, Land of Hollows, has its roots here, and those who would eventually found it likely are the ones who corrupted her. Back to Gundyr, FromSoftware was really clever with the item descriptions related to him. They all seem very straightforward, but if you look hard into it, they leave out a lot of important details. They tell us that he was charged with a duty, but not by whom or what that duty entails. This sword is only bequeathed to Chosen Ash as judged by the Udex, who awaits the arrival of Ash as a scabbard. sheathed to a coiled sword in the hopes that someday the first flame would be linked once more. Again, it seems straightforward, but it doesn't say that he became Udex out of his own free will, or that he was the one who hoped that the first flame would be linked. A prisoner is one who has staked everything on a belief, a proclivity most apparent in the greatest of champions. And here they fail to mention what that belief actually was. But Gundyr himself has telltale signs of his fall into darkness. In the past, at the Untended graves, his red eyes show that the abyss has taken root within him. And, given enough time, it would fester into the monstrous dark creature that bursts out of his body when we fight him in the present. He was an undead champion, on a quest to seize the first flame, but when he got to Firelink Shrine, it was without fire, and the bells would not toll. Not only that, but he was bested by an unknown warrior. The Black Knights are roaming the area. They locked the Firekeeper away and blinded her. But they could not defeat Gundyr, not without our help. Broken, he was imprisoned and impaled with the coiled sword, in the hopes that someday the first flame would be linked once more. The Firekeeper never met her champion, and the ensuing tragic farce became a favorite tale of the masses. Gundyr's tale as a champion of the first flame is the farce, a favorite tale to this day it would seem.